I'm David Willis in Washington, and this is BBC World News America. The White House says it has shot down what it says was an object in the skies over Alaska.
Out of an abundance of caution and at the recommendation of the Pentagon, President Biden ordered the military to down the object.
It was smaller than the Chinese balloon shot down last week, but will it have as big an impact on international relations? Also ahead. More than 23,000 people are dead, millions are in desperate need of aid, and hopes are disappearing of finding any more survivors following this week's deadly earthquakes in Turkey and Syria. We visit a hospital overwhelmed by the quakes.
This is one of the hospitals still standing, but all they know about some of the children that are brought in is which pile of rubble they were pulled from.
Harry Potter comes to the world of video games, but will the Hogwarts legacy be tarnished by protests against the writer J.K. Rowling's stance on transgender issues? And with just 2 days to go before the biggest day in the American sporting calendar, we'll have the latest on the build-up to the Super Bowl. Welcome to World News America on PBS and around the globe. We'll bring you the latest on the earthquakes in Turkey and Syria in just a few minutes, but we start this evening with a rapidly developing story here in the US. Defense officials have confirmed that fighter planes shot down an unidentified object that was seen over Alaska. The move comes less than a week after the US took down a Chinese balloon that Washington says was being used for spying, a claim denied by Beijing. Well, at the White House this afternoon, the National Security Council spokesman John Kirby couldn't confirm whether this second object was also of Chinese origin. Well, joining me now from the White House is our Washington correspondent, Nomia Iqbal. Nomia, what more do we know about this mystery object? Nomia Iqbal, many thanks indeed. Turkey's President Erdogan has admitted that the initial response to the earthquakes, which devastated parts of both Turkey and Syria, was too slow. But he said the quake zone was now the subject of the biggest search and rescue operation in the world. As the search for survivors reaches its fifth day, hopes of finding anyone alive in the rubble seem to be fading rapidly. Our chief international correspondent, Lise Doucet, joins me now from Gaziantep in southern Turkey. That's the epicenter of the earthquakes and a hub of the relief effort. Lise. Our diplomatic correspondent Paul Adams there. Well, as you just heard, getting access to Syria is difficult, but the BBC has language services around the world, and our Arabic team based in Syria has some of the first international journalists in Aleppo. The BBC is travelling with the Syrian government's permission in the region, and our reporter Asaf Aboud has sent us this report in Arabic, and we've translated his words. That was our reporter Asaf Aboud in Aleppo. Well, to the war in Ukraine now. And for many Russians, it's something happening far away. But for the people of Belgorod, a region near the border with Ukraine, the war is a daily reality as it comes under shelling. Our Russia editor Steve Rosenberg has been there to see how life has changed after a year of war. In other news, as we heard earlier, President Biden has been hosting the Brazilian President Lula for the first time since Brazil's tightly contested election in October. The talks today were focused on safeguarding democracy, rejecting extremism and violence in politics, climate change, and Lula's effort to re-engage with the global community. The FBI has been conducting a search at the home of the former US Vice President Mike Pence after classified documents were found there last month. The FBI is reported to have been given unrestricted access. Mr. Pence was not at home, but a member of his legal team was present. Both the former President Donald Trump and President Biden are under investigation over the retention of classified documents. First, there were the books, then the films, and now the video game. Hogwarts Legacy, set in the Harry Potter universe. But although it's one of the most anticipated titles of the year, it's being boycotted by some who want to take a stand against the author J.K. Rowling's public comments on policies relating to transgender people. The BBC's gaming correspondent Stefan Powell has more. Now then, we're just 2 days away from the Super Bowl. Arizona is playing host to the game. The Kansas City Chiefs will take on the Philadelphia Eagles. And if you're like me, you may not know your tight end from your linebacker, but the NFL, which runs the sport, is doing its level best to make sure that there is something for everyone. Our sports news reporter, Nesta McGregor, is in Phoenix. Should be good. I'm David Willis. Thanks for watching World News America.
Hello there. We've seen some very heavy rain across the central Mediterranean region over the last 24 hours, thanks